Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm a PhD student in the postgraduate program in animal biology from the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul in Brazil. Today I'm presenting my work titled Population Biology of the Porcellanid crab, Pachycheles laevidactylus in southern Brazil, co-authored by my supervisor Mariana Terossi. The Pachycheles genus is comprised of around 47 species, 7 of which can be found on the coast of Brazil. Only 2, however, occur in the state of Rio Grande do Sul, in the south, Pachycheles turbutensis and Pachycheles laevidactylus. Pachycheles laevidactylus inhabits the intertidal zone, under rocks, among seaweed, or in mussel beds. They can also be found in facultative symbiosis with species of Bryozoa and polychaete sandbanks of the genus Phragmatopoma. The species occurs in the western Atlantic only, from the state of Maranhão in northeast Brazil to Monte Hermoso in Argentina. Although the species is the most frequent decapod in the polychaete sandbanks in the south of Brazil, no population data is available for this species in the area. To remedy that, in this study, we analyzed from 2 locations in southern Brazil the population structure, sex ratio, size at sexual maturity, both functional and morphological, reproductive period, and the relative growth of the species. Crabs were collected once per season during 1 year in 2 locations in the state of Rio Grande do Sul, in the south of Brazil, from Phragmatopoma caudata sandbanks. The crabs were then transported to the lab, sexed, measured, and counted. The total number of crabs collected was 1,534, divided into the 2 locations. The size of the crabs ranged from 0.56 mm to 15 mm of carapace width, including megalopae, juveniles, and adults. The overall sex ratio and seasonal sex ratio was 50-50 in both locations. Ovigerous females were found in all seasons, with a higher percentage in colder months. Megalopae, however, were only found in spring in both locations. Females reached morphological sexual maturity at a larger size than the size at functional sexual maturity, which we considered as the size of the smallest ovigerous female. When comparing the data of the present study with other data from the literature, we observed that females seem to start reproducing at smaller sizes at locations closer to the edges of the species distribution, and larger sizes in areas towards the center of its distribution. Differences in relative growth were detected between adults and juveniles of each sex, as well as when comparing males and females. When comparing the size of males and females, females were larger and had larger pleons than males. This is probably related to reproduction, since larger females with larger pleons can carry a higher number of eggs. Caliped size, however, showed no difference between sexes. In conclusion, this study analyzed many populational aspects of Pachycheles laevidactylus for the first time in southern Brazil, and it is the first one overall to do so in all seasons. But further studies on population dynamics of this species are needed to better understand how its biological aspects vary along its wide distribution, and this is especially necessary in the tropical zone in northern Brazil, where the knowledge of the species is the most scarce. If you're interested in hearing more about this study, expanded results and an in-depth discussion can be found in a paper recently published in the Marine Ecology Journal in January 2022. Thank you very much for your time and attention.